because I attempted suicide when I was still married in 2009. That was the breaking point for me. I was like, because I lost my daughter in 2008, and in 2009, while I was 5 months pregnant, I attempted suicide. And when I lifted that knife and I was like, God, that's when I said, God, show me a sign. And that baby kicked me in my womb. I was like, okay, something is not right. Something is not. How do you even get to this point? It was like an out of body experience. How could I get to that point of desperation to go pick up a knife? I was fed up with life. But when it didn't happen, I knew that something was wrong. I didn't know who could help me because I'd been to so many doctors, and that I had to do something. That I knew. I didn't just know how, but I just knew that I could not let go like that anymore. Yeah, I could not live on like that.
Okay. Today, I'm on my way to meet my friend Marie Abanga. This is the first time Marie is in Ghana, and I'm so excited to interview her. Marie and I became friends through the Global Mental Health Peer Network, where we both represented our countries for 2 years. It's a story for another day. I'm really excited to interview Marie because Marie is a mental health advocate. She's a lawyer. Like, Marie is a woman of many parts, and one thing I love about her is her faith in God. Let's get started. Hi guys, welcome back to the Mental Health Quarters. Today I have with me the beautiful Marie Abanga. Marie has been one of my top subscribers, always commenting, always being there, always being supportive. And Marie is in Ghana with us today. She has come all the way from Cameroon, and I thought Marie must come on the channel today. So
I also wanted to come on the channel.
yes, and it felt like an impossibility. Like, how am I ever going to get Marie on the channel? I always thought if we'll ever do it, it would have to be virtual. But I thank God for making it possible for you to come to Ghana today, and finally we are recording. So Marie, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, well, Marie is 43 years old, so I've lived, okay? And
still living.
I am a mother of 3 boys, age 18, 16, and 13. I live with post-traumatic stress disorder. Okay, I am a lawyer, I'm a psychotherapist, I'm an author, I'm a consultant, I am a this, I'm a that. Okay, but after everything, most important, I'm a minister of the gospel. That's so important for me because faith has come to play a very big role in my life and even in the way I regulate my mental health. So I just cannot talk about myself and my life without talking about that. Yeah.
Okay, so Marie, what I really love about you is you are someone who is conscious of the fact that we live in a spiritual world, and you are also conscious of the fact about the fact that as human beings we all have mental health. I believe that most Africans have, I don't know whether I should say Africans, most people have that difficulty in, like, fine, they are okay with going to see a doctor if they are physically ill, but they are not okay with seeing a psychologist. But I love the fact that you have been able to realize that it's basically the same thing. Realizing that maybe you have a mental health condition, you need to treat it, but you also have to combine your faith with it. I'm really happy to hear that. So how did all this start for you, your mental health journey and your road to recovery?
Thank you. That's a good question. It has a lot to do with trauma. I mean, you see, post-traumatic stress disorder. So a lot of trauma in my life kind of messed up some brain wires. Let me just put it as simple as that. I grew up for the first 8 years of my life kind of like in a happy home, quote and unquote. And then we moved cities, and it was a shock for me because it was from one free place, the way children play with other children, you go around the whole neighborhood and everything. So whatever is happening at home doesn't have that kind of impact on you because you have the opportunity to go out. And that was even when I used to be so beaten and everything, but I did not feel it at that time. It didn't traumatize me until much later when we moved to a city where we were living in a kind of a villa with some high fence, and I could not go out to play anymore.
Okay.
And I was just there. I was locked up. It was like punishment, And then shortly after, yeah, I was sexually assaulted, abused by a female cousin. That's the person who introduced me to all of these things, and I didn't know what to do with that. I couldn't talk to nobody about that. So,
So how
it
old
just
were
piled up the
you
trauma. And then after that, my parents divorced. And, it's not like out there where parents sometimes sit with the children and say, well, we decided
to
to go
divorce?
our separate. No, no, yeah, nobody tells you nothing. You just discover. Let me even tell you so, oh my goodness. My mother left, and then we were in boarding school, and my father came with his new wife to pick us up from boarding school.
That must have
And
been
you sit and you
traumatic.
see somebody come with a new woman, and it was terrible.
How old were you that time?
I was maybe 11 or 12.
Wow.
Yes, and I had a junior brother. May his soul rest in peace. He died in 2014. He started suffering from epilepsy at the age of 11 too. All of that trauma, and then it was terrible. And then when this stepmom came, all of a sudden we couldn't touch nothing in that house.
Wow.
From a house where, because my father was middle class, so he was the regional director of some big petroleum company, so it was not like we lacked food, but we started not eating. We were locked up. We were supposed to stay in our room, not like she would lock the door, but she would say nobody should come out and don't touch my food. I used to skip the wall to go and get food, and I even had to cook from a stove in our room. I can never forget those kind of things. So that is trauma upon trauma. And then, well, you go to boarding school and you try to fit in, to belong, because you were not able to go out again, and so your world now is like friends, and if they don't accept you, then it means something is wrong with you. So you have to do all you can do to belong to these networks. And if it means having sex with boys and having relationships, I mean, you just do that. So
was your
the
father
trauma piles up.
was your father aware that this was how you were struggling?
No, come on now. We know our African fathers. The highest thing is work, pay school fees, and then buy food. There's no time. No father comes home to ask you how was your day, like you do today, and you go to say that. And then look, I used to be his golden child growing up, but all of a sudden our relationship just died. So there was nothing like I could even go to say, this is what's happening. How dare I? So, and then I was already very resentful that how could this even happen? So I was not talking to him also, so that's how the relationship was. So there's all those series of traumas that, plus all those failed relationships. You know how it is. We are women. You start getting drawn into it. You want to love. You love so badly. It's toxic. It's codependent, and this and that, to the point where maybe I'm rushing for too much. But I meet someone in December. I meet someone in December, and I tell him, either you're getting married to me or nothing. By then I already had one son, out of wedlock, and it was another out of bounds relationship. So I meet this person in December. That same December I get pregnant. In March we get married, and I think in April, or maybe I don't know when, I lose that baby. I have a miscarriage. So you just see the string of traumatic things happening in my life. Yeah. So, and then I endure this abusive marriage for 6 years, and in that abuse I also step out of the marriage. It's completely messed up. Yeah.
Okay.
So that's how I got to this place, to my
post-traumatic
mental health. Yeah.
Okay. Marie, what are your final words for the viewers of the Mental Health Quarters?
Yeah, I like this new name for your channel.
Yeah.
Because it was for me like, it's only about bipolar, but now it's mental health quarter. It's like we have our own quarter back home. Is like the neighborhood stuff. Yeah. So if you say a quarter, it means that, well, we go there to talk all things mental health. And for me, it means that you don't need to be mentally ill to talk mental health. Indeed, it's even good to talk mental health before anything ever happens. That way, if something happens, you are comfortable with even just going to the hospital or seeking for help. Sometimes things happen and it degenerates because people don't talk about it. And so my final words would be that let's make mental health matter. Let's continue. Don't shy away. Don't stop. Maybe because maybe you don't have 1,000, 1 million followers and all
Mm-hmm.
views. And no, no, no. Before we were not even having people talk about it.
Yes.
So I really applaud you. Like, please keep talking about it.
Thank you.
And let's continue using our lived experience. Those of us who have gotten to this point, and all those I see on your channel, the last one I watched was of some lady who was the winner of some show, or who was in some show, and she lives with
Yes.
schizophrenia.
Yeah.
Yeah, for me that
Joanne.
was just so bold, and I
Yeah.
was like, yeah, we need more and more people like this, coming out and talking. What is the worst case scenario? Is it?
Yeah.
What's the worst case scenario? That
Hmm.
people are going to say you are crazy? Is that something new?
Now
Yeah,
I'm used to
so
it.
as long as we all breathe, and as
Yeah.
long as
But Marie, do you know
yeah,
my challenge right now?
tell me.
I wish more men would want to come on the channel. Sometimes when you ask a man or a boy, do you want to come on the channel? They usually decline, and it makes it look as if mental health is now a women's thing. And if you have noticed, even in sometimes mental health communities, I think it's only in the peer network, the one we are part of, the
Mm-hmm.
global mental health peer network, that
Mm-hmm.
I've seen more women involved. Here in
Mm-hmm.
Ghana, you see more men involved in like the fight against mental health stigma and discrimination. But when it comes to people with lived experience,
Mm-hmm.
talking about their lived experience, men talking about their lived experience, it's like they don't want to. And somehow I understand somehow
Well,
to.
because now is this goes back to stigma
Yeah,
and their ego.
yeah,
But in my country, on the ground, men will talk, but they will not want to come online,
yes.
on a show. So I think gradually, but you had somebody talk about
The
his experiences
grief.
with grief and all of
Yes,
that. I mean, that
yes,
is still it, right?
yes.
That is
But
still it.
Marie and I are officially inviting more men to come to the contest.
Yeah, we are, because sometimes they say, look, to have a better relationship with somebody, you want to also know this person's history, this person's challenges, and all of those kind of things. And if they don't talk about it, how do you know it?
Yeah, yeah, that's
And
very
when
true.
you talk like this, look at what I'm telling you, what I watched. Do you even know everything I watched there? I learn a lot from all of those, and I share sometimes, and I tell people, watch, open up. I was just talking with somebody today. It's a man also. Like, you cannot continue bottling up your feelings like that. You want to express something, but you don't express it just because you are not used to expressing things. When are you going to start being used to? What's
Yeah,
the whole point?
yeah, that's very
Are you
true.
comfortable with the life you are living?
That's very true.
Yeah, so frankly speaking, I think people should feel more comfortable with talking about it. You have to give yourself that permission. God did not give us a spirit of fear.
Yes,
Apply that everywhere,
yeah, that's
right?
very true.
Mm-hmm.
Very, very, very true. So, Marie, tell us one fun fact you love about Ghana since you came. I know you've been here for about a week now.
Oh, when a Ghanaian tells you I'm coming, it could mean so many things I didn't know.
Yeah.
So that's something very interesting I learned, like when you say I'm coming, I say, are you done? She says, no, I'm coming. And I'm like, I'm in front of you, you're coming to where again? Then I understood later that it means hold up. I'm still working on it.
Yeah.
That could be one interpretation. Another interpretation could be give me 30 minutes or an hour.
Yes.
Another interpretation could be okay, I'll think about it. So I
I
love that.
see. I
You
see.
thought I
I
would
see.
talk about the food? No, I'm not going to talk about the food.
Oh no, I knew you. I know. Oh, Marie, I know you. You talk about different things. So thank you, Marie, so much for coming on the show. And from all your interpretations of "I'm coming," I'm now realizing how much of "I'm coming" means. Like we said it so much in our country that we don't really think about how different "I'm coming" means.
uh,
That's really,
that's what
really deep.
somebody also told me, that
Yeah,
no, don't get angry at them because they might not even be thinking about what
yeah,
they're saying. They're just saying it. So
yeah. I'm
just leave it.
coming.
If the person shows up fine, if they don't show up, just continue your life. Don't get angry because you can get triggered for nothing, and the person is not even aware that are the cause of your trigger.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you so
I
much
say
for
thank you so
coming,
much. I'm
Marie.
just so honored that one day I'm also going to be on this
We are
channel.
gonna be on the contest, and
And
we
I'm
pray
going to
that.
share it
Yeah.
until and encourage more people. Now, my own one question to you before you put the stop. Do you do online interviews, or you only want to do in person?
Online interviews, as in like with YouTube or other stuff.
Yes, now, or Zoom or anything,
I
to
have
have
been doing a
somebody.
lot of
Oh,
things.
really?
Yes,
Okay.
TV, radio,
No, I'm talking about like you can want to interview me and you send me a link so that you kind of, you remember in those days
like
there used to be
webinars.
Skype or stuff, but just one on one. If I
Mm,
cannot come to Ghana, for example, you want to interview
yeah,
somebody.
I've thought about it. I've done one with my friend in Kenya, Rahel.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, and I'm thinking of doing more of such stuff because
Okay.
I was praying that if I don't see you today,
Mm-hmm.
then my only option would be to meet you virtually. But thank God
Oh, thank God. We
you
really
have
do.
come.
You see, for
Yes,
me,
yes, thank
frankly
God.
speaking, when we have faith, things work out
Yeah.
for our good. So, in every situation, frankly speaking, I've come to be able to say thank you. Because if all of these things didn't happen to me, I would not be able to be this advocate
Mm,
and help a lot of people.
yeah,
So I'm really not complaining about it.
yeah,
I'm not blaming God. I'm not blaming human beings. I'm just like, Father, what can I do with this? And He keeps telling me what to do with it. And I use those experiences. If I didn't have them, what would I be using?
yes. That's very, very true. So thank you all for watching, and we pray that Marie will keep coming to Ghana as often as she can. It's bye from the mental health quarters.